find what works for you, but I don't think you need ultra pain and you don't need to be ultra lazy. I think if you find a process that works more times than not, you'll be surprised at how it can really pay off in the long run. Like, you've been trading 20 plus years. I've been trading 20 plus years. You learn so much over time versus somebody who's been trading like a week or a month or a year.
Yeah, it's really funny to see the mentality of people on Twitter that have just gotten into trading or just gotten into crypto. They speak with so much confidence and all this stuff because they haven't gone through the pain that everybody goes through in trading. Pretty much, I like to say and tell people that it's a rite of passage to blow up your account.
Yeah,
because that you need to feel that pain to know what happens when you break the rules. Essentially, trading is a rule-based system.
Yeah,
and if you break the rules, you're going to get disqualified. And so it's like, if you don't experience that in the beginning, you're going to experience at some point. And the farther down you go, you might have a bigger account that you're going to lose more. So it's definitely beneficial to happen early.
You want to lose big early in your career. This is why I tell people to trade small, because you're probably going to lose. Like Jack Kellogg, over 12 million now. First 18 months, he lost 10 grand.
Yeah.
And he took 3 months off. He was so frustrated. But the plays kept happening and he kept learning, whether he's trading, whether he's paper trading, whether you're trading small. But if you learn the lessons early on, you save yourself. Like in American hedge fund, you see me turn 12,000 into nearly 2 million. But there's one chapter where I lose like $1 million. I lost like a third of my hedge fund. And
what happened on that trade specifically?
So I invested in Cygnus transactions. They invented print at home ticketing. I was like, this technology is going to change the world. I was right about the technology, wrong about the company. They invested too much. They had such debts. I trusted the new CEO. He looked at me, not on a table this big, but like a table closer. And he looked at me in the eye. He's like, don't worry, Tim, when they were struggling. I was like one of the biggest shareholders because I kept putting money in. He's like, don't worry. You've invested in a good technology, a good company. We're fine. It was like 2 weeks later, he declared bankruptcy.
Really?
I didn't know at the time. I was like, oh, well, I lost a third of my hedge fund. That's when I was on Wall Street Warriors and I was drunk in every episode because I was like, life sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time. He bought the company in bankruptcy. Stephen K. Brown. I remember you, Stephen K. Brown. I'm going to haunt your dreams forever, you. He bought the company in bankruptcy, kept all of the contracts, later sold the company for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But wiped out early shareholders and debt holders like me.
Yeah.
Good lesson.
So he bought Cigna in the bankruptcy that fucked you over and then turned it around.
He kept all the contracts, but there were too many debts building the technology.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't work with this. So let me wipe out these debt holders and then start fresh, but they had the technology.
Yeah.
And how was I to know, like, you can buy companies and things in bankruptcy for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
So he finagled his way. Yeah. Whether it's legal, whether it's not illegal, I don't know. It's unethical. And he walked away with hundreds of millions. So Google Stephen K. Brown. Remember, he looked at me in the eye. That was the worst part. We were at like Starbucks. And I was like, I have a third of my hedge fund, man. Like at the time I was a short bias hedge fund, but I fell in love with the technology. Yeah. You can't fall in love with the technology. You can't fall in love with stocks. You can't fall in love with investments. You can't fall in love with communities. Yeah. It'll break your heart. But that $1 million loss was the best thing to ever happen to me, because after that, that's when I got on Wall Street Warriors because I was depressed and drunk. It became a hit. I recognized that there was a need for real teaching. And so it led me to everything. So there's no mistakes if you keep going. There's only a mistake if you quit, if you let a loss get to you and you're like, I'm done. Yeah. You cut off your education. I've never had $1 million loss. I've never had $100,000 loss again. Because I remember the pain. Yeah. Like you said, you have to learn what not to do. Like a baby with hot water, right? Or a baby with a grenade. Yeah. Baby with a grenade.
He probably won't have a chance to learn again.
He might not come back. But baby with a hot water, like the baby doesn't know, like what if this water was steaming and the baby touches it? Yeah. And the baby gets burned. You're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
So you
and
need
it's necessary. If you just tell it that water's hot, don't touch it, they're always going to want to know.